There's a lot of controversy around female bodybuilding. There's so much hate. Why do you think that is?
Insecurity.
This is nonsense. Do you know how much they're coping right now? Coach Greg, in today's video, we need to have a little talk. This video is about women on steroids. Jesse James interviews multiple women who are clearly on steroids, and essentially his message is they can do what they want. The poor women. We need to respect them, we need to be nice, we need to do better. I disagree. Jesse James, he's doing his best, but I think he's trying to be nice. Coach Greg, I don't give a shit. And so if you don't want to hear Coach Greg criticizing these women taking steroids, well, turn to another video, because you're in for a doozy.
Female bodybuilding is one of the most controversial sports. It seems like almost all of them are on steroids, and no one wants to talk about it.
And so in case you're wondering, I had already done a deep dive on one of the women in this competition. And so I can tell you after watching this video, Jesse did not explain just how dangerous steroids actually are. He barely scratched the surface.
Natty or not?
Do you think I'm natty?
I just have to ask.
I'm like 200 pounds.
I can't assume, okay?
It's 2024, you can't assume anything. You could see a man, 300 pounds of muscle, and you can't even assume it's a man. You could see a woman competing in bikini, you can't assume it's a woman. You can't assume anything. And so of course, Jesse James, he has to ask. He knows she's not natural, but of course he has to ask.
Are you natural?
No.
Es natural or no?
No.
Jesse James, spitting out the Espanol.
I don't speak Spanish.
Not natty.
Not natty.
Neither of you. No hiding it either.
Not at all.
No reason to.
And so do they look natural? Newsflash, almost every single person competing in the Olympia, I don't care if it's bodybuilding, women's figure, wellness, bikini, almost all of them are on steroids.
I just take tests in GH.
Women. If you wanted to transition to be a man, say you were born in the wrong body, and you went to the doctor, they would give you testosterone in order to turn into a man. She's on test and GH. What do you think that's going to do? Can you imagine we're at a point now in 2024 where a female can answer, I'm just on test and GH. I'm not even on GH. And so she's likely on more anabolics than I am, and I'm a 49-year-old man.
I'm on just TRT from a doctor.
What has that experience been like?
It helped me, but I'm naturally very much overweight and worked out a long time, couldn't figure out why I wasn't losing weight.
What am I supposed to say to this? Have you been watching 3,600 of my videos? You need to be in a calorie deficit. I don't care what the heck your testosterone levels are. If you're not losing weight and you're fat, you're eating too much or you're not moving enough.
Then I got my blood drawn and I needed TRT.
And so yes, I get it. If you have low testosterone, you perhaps need HRT, but not at doses so high that it changes your voice. Now, if you are dysfunctional, remember, I partnered with Transcend. You can get your blood work taken. A doctor will review it, tell you what you need. Remember, what you need, a qualified doctor. How many people in this video competing at the Olympia do you think need the drugs that you're taking? And remember, do not break the law. Different countries have different rules, and so never break the law and only use performance-enhancing drugs with the advice and consent from your actual doctor.
I am not a doctor.
This is Hunter Henderson. She's competing at the Olympia for the first time this year. And oh yeah, she's definitely on steroids.
Hunter Henderson is specifically who I had been researching, planned on doing a video, and so why not add it to this right now? In case you're wondering, she is an elite powerlifting champion. She's a freak. She's stronger than almost anyone in the world. I saw her deadlifting with 524 pounds for reps, and between each rep, she literally Turk maxed all over the floor. Every rep, it was a Turk here and a GO2 max there. Could we not wear a pad protection or something to prevent this fluid from going everywhere? No one wants to get chlamydia. No one wants to be like Togi.
How long have you been bodybuilding for?
So I've actually only been bodybuilding for total a year.
What?
1 year. And already we have Jared Feather, who works with Renaissance Periodization. You know, Mike Israetel.
You have what it takes to be the best.
You are the chosen one. You have the potential to be the best. And so you need to take everything.
Did we get a nosebleed out of that one?
Nosebleed. Oh, shit.
We didn't get tears, but we got blood.
And so do I need to be the one to point this out? She goes to the gym and her fluids are squirting everywhere. From the downstairs to her nose. And remember, with the nose, it's probably from high blood pressure. And what do you think that's from? It's from steroids. And so if you have chronically high blood pressure, what do you think is going to happen? You're taking off decades, not years, decades from your life. And so everyone wants to cheer for this girl. You're the chosen one. You're going to be the best, third best powerlifter in the world. What's next? The champion bodybuilder. She's promised to herself, I need to do and take everything in order to be the champion. It's never enough. And so imagine her blood work. Does anyone think that she's healthy? Now remember, she actually has a tan. She's not like Mike Isertel, and so she is in fact a top level pro. If Mike had the proper tan, he of course would be better than this woman. She's far better than Mike. She's an Olympian bodybuilder. But at what cost? People, when they see her on stage, they're fans. Trust me, she looks incredible. I'm not taking away anything from her physique. Her physique, it's stupendous. It's exquisite. It's amazing. Yes, but it's come at some sacrifices. Brought a tear to my eye, so inspirational. She is a high vibrational woman, aspire to be. Future of women's bodybuilding is bright. Go best friend. And so aspire to be the future. She's amazing. And so when she's on stage, everyone loves this woman. But what about the rest of the year? When she doesn't have on the makeup, the hair, and so on? What about then? This is the truth. This is what you need to hear. This is what happens when you're a women's bodybuilder.
Super, super excited. I get to wear the infamous Olympia tracksuit to get my hair and makeup done because, you know, come on. Got back from tanning.
And so notice, Mike, she's getting back from tanning. She knows what she's doing. As you look at her face, you notice the facial hair growing through the 5 o'clock shadow. And when you hear her voice, you know there's something amiss, something different about it. She sounds manly. And so I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I don't want to be the have to want to say this. But when you say you aspire to be like her, this is not what my opinion is of someone you should aspire to be. If I had a daughter, perhaps she's 19 years of age, and she said, I want to be like this woman, I'm going to have a little chat with her. You're my daughter. Of course you have amazing genetics. Aside that you're only 4'3" tall. Aside from that, you have great shape. You have great muscle bellies. But to be a professional bodybuilder at the Olympia, you have to take a lot of tests. And you're going to slowly turn into a man. Hopefully you won't have thoughts of rage and anxiety like Mike Isertel.
Man, it'd be cool to like fight a dog with just your hands.
But it's going to take off decades from your life. I don't like it. Can't we try natural bodybuilding? Could we not compete in a different division? And so when you look like this, I'm going to read a few random comments of what people said upon seeing this interview. What the is that? Why is this dude dressed like this? Once you've lost all feminine features, you've officially gone too far in the gear game as a female. You can tell she hides behind a lot of makeup to conceal hardcore masculine features she's acquired through drug abuse. Don't do test girls. That's right. Unless, of course, you want to transition to become a man, nothing wrong with that. This is the harsh reality. I'm telling you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. You want to hear Jared Feather say, you are the one. You could be the best. You could be the champion. But what you need to hear is if you choose to go on that route, this is what's going to happen. Remember, I once coached world champion powerlifter Eva Dunbar. Told her the exact same thing. Of course, she was the best female powerlifter in the world. Coached her through it. Coach her be an IB pro. I said, if you want to be the best of the best in bodybuilding, you're going to have to do certain things that you perhaps later down the road you might regret. And so every person has to decide on their own, is it in fact worth it? Many people out there have amazing genetics. Eva, certainly one of them. This girl, absolutely. But is it worth taking what you have to take, for example, tren, in order to get there? And so when you're young and you're on the rise and people are saying such amazing things about you, you're the chosen one. You're amazing. It's hard to say, I'm going to stay natural. And so I want to make it abundantly clear. If you are a female and you choose this route, this path in life, it comes at a price. at a cost of your femininity, and it will take, for sure, years off your life. And so if you had to compare somebody who's on steroids to somebody who's morbidly obese, let's call it 300 pounds, they're equally bad. Morbidly obese, you're taking years off your life. Taking steroids, years off your life. And so considering the fact that if this woman had stayed natural, 100% natty, does anyone think she wouldn't have been amazing? Does anyone think she wouldn't have been strong, wouldn't have had a lot of muscle? Of course she would. But she wanted to be the best of the best. And what do you have to take? You have to take what they're taking. And so this is what I don't like. There's too much pressure from social media, your peers and so on, to keep taking more and more drugs in order to fit in.
Your supplementation from the beginning of prep versus now.
Like steroids?
Like steroids.
We started with just and now we've added in some.
And so she says, I'm taking test and I've added in some Anavar. And so I believe she's saying we started with just Primo and we've since then added in Anavar. And you're thinking, yeah, it's only two things. But what dose? At what dose? There's a big difference between, say, taking 5 milligrams of Anavar and taking 50. And so just because you're taking one or two of perhaps the milder steroids, doesn't mean that you're safe.
My coaches are like super health conscious.
Okay.
She had a nosebleed in the gym. Does she look like she's taking low doses? Does she sound like she's taking low doses? And so how many people think you can compete at this level to be one of the top Olympians in the world and be healthy? The same group of you that probably think that Sebum is perfectly fine. He's not taking abusive doses, probably just HRT. What's wrong with you?
I've had coaches in the past who were not.
And what, they pushed you too far?
They got me where I needed to be.
I do in fact believe that. She perhaps was taking way higher doses in the past. But remember, any dose, it's dangerous. And so we can see clearly the acne on her face. We see the beard growing, the 5 o'clock shadow. We see the amount of muscle that she has, the nosebleeds, that she's peeing on the floor as she lifts weights. Does she look healthy to you? How many of you think she has immaculate blood work? Doctors saying, oh, you probably live to be 90. Nobody thinks that.
I decided it was time to talk to an expert, ideally someone who researches female health.
So I'm a doctoral researcher in the area of women's health.
How many of you think the researcher's natural? Just saying.
Bro. You have Sebum's arms. I swear to God.
She removes her top and his response is, those are Sebum's arms. Chris Bumstead. How many of you think she's on a low dose to look like Sebum?
Why do you think men are judged less harshly for taking steroids compared to a woman taking steroids?
Probably because the misconception that testosterone is the male hormone whenever men and women both have testosterone and estrogen.
And so you can say it's a misconception all you like, but when you take a lot of testosterone, it turns you more into a man. When a man takes more testosterone, become more of a man. More manly, if you will. When a female takes more testosterone, the female becomes more male. More male-like, more manly. That's the truth, and that's how it needs to be stated. And yes, women have testosterone in very low amounts, about 1/12 of that of a male. But if you give a woman the same dose of HRT as I'm on, that woman is slowly going to turn into, well, me. You get it now?
Bet you there's some guys walking around with higher estrogen levels than a lot of the women there. But then why are we saying when women have high androgens, they're more manly?
Because they are. Women who are on more androgens are more manly because they are. Why can't people use basic human logic? If you add in more testosterone, you become more like a man, more manly. Just because women have a little bit of testosterone doesn't mean that if they take a lot of testosterone that they're still womanly. It doesn't make sense.
Have you had any side effects from not being natural?
I've just had an easier time recovering and building muscle, so not really, no.
This is bullshit. Y'all think they have no side effects? So in case you don't know some of the side effects, there's acne, there's the growth of something in the downstairs. I'm not going to name it. I don't want to get demonetized. You get a deeper voice. You can get facial hair growth. You can have a receding hairline. Your hair can fall out. And that's just what you see on the outside. When you get your blood work done, you'll notice, oh wow, now my cholesterol's all turked up. My HDL, the good cholesterol, I have less of it. And I have more of the LDL, the bad cholesterol. And why are my liver enzymes out of whack? What damage am I doing to my liver, to my kidneys, to my organs, my heart? And so when you say, I haven't experienced any side effects, You're lying.
We've got male coaches working with females that aren't asking questions or females that aren't disclosing embarrassing information because they're too fearful of doing so.
And so I know these coaches, male and female, and I know these athletes. They're not telling their coaches all their bullshit. Do you know who they're telling? They're telling me. I coach people in secret. They tell me what's going on, the growth of their downstairs. Their voices are getting deeper. They don't want to tell their coaches. I don't want to piss them off. And what do you think the coaches care about? Are they going to win their pro card? Look at their before and after transformation. Look how amazing I am as a coach. All you did is add in a bunch of steroids and SARMs. They didn't even follow your fucking diet. Oh, and they don't tell you about the binging and then visiting the washroom to do number 3. They keep all that a secret. It's a horrendous side to the sport that you need to be aware of.
What are some side effects that you've experienced from taking steroids?
Me personally, enlargement, which is awesome, as long as it's not like walking around, you know, like.
Why is it awesome?
How many guys out there want to see a private member growing downstairs from their opposite partner? Some do, most don't. And so if you're a female, be careful. Enough said. Back to the video.
There's a lot of controversy around female bodybuilding. There's so much hate. Why do you think that is?
Insecurity.
This is nonsense. Do you know how much they're coping right now? If I don't like the look of a female who perhaps has more muscle than me, it doesn't mean that I'm insecure. Oh, you're insecure because I weigh 200 pounds of muscle and can bench press a forklift? Maybe a man wants a feminine woman. Is there something wrong with being feminine? Now listen, if you want to weigh 200 pounds and bench press a forklift, by all means, but don't project your own insecurities onto that of the men who don't find you attractive.
These women were so jacked, I knew they must have been taking something more than steroids.
Absolutely. Jesse finally onto something. They're taking something more than steroids. It's probably testosterone from their T-plug. I'm your T-plug. And remember, testosterone doesn't cause any of these unwanted side effects. And in case you're skeptical, of course you are. The majority of the fitness industry, they're selling fake testosterone, most of them getting it from China. Ours from Uzbekistan, third-party testing, we can prove it. Ask the others, our competitors, to do the same. Now remember, we offer a money-back guarantee and a $20 gift card if you didn't enjoy the experience. Who else is doing that? You're going to look back and say, Coach Reg was right all along. Cannot wait. But why not get it now? You can literally make all the videos you want. Hey, I bought Coach Greg's, it didn't work. Make the videos because the majority of people, it's working for them. Way better than creatine, far, far superior. And so if you're interested in testosterone, of course, GO2 Max, the same thing applies to Sequel Bars, money back guarantee, code Greg, 15% off. Click the link in the description.
It gives me confidence in myself to grow old, you know what I mean? Like I see all of my family members, you know, with ailments, but I honestly feel like this sport has given me longevity.
Abusing steroids doesn't increase longevity, it shortens it. And so why are we lying? Why are people coping so hard? Do they not know what they're actually doing?
And just after Hunter got off stage, I got some bad news.
Okay.
And so after all the hate, remember I read some of the comments, just a few, there were thousands of messages like that. She drops out. She doesn't even stick through the competition. And so all fun and games when you're winning, but the moment things go wrong, you blame it on your tan. Sorry, Mike, the truth is the truth. You were fat. Sorry.
The whole reason I started lifting in general was I just wanted a physique that, you know, you walk in the room and people stop.
And so these women know the majority of people, they don't like this. Some do. But she took steroids because she wanted to walk in the room and have people stare, be shocked and amazed. Look at that person. But it doesn't always work like that. And the longer you abuse steroids, the worse the side effects become. And sooner or later, almost inevitably, people have their regrets. They drop out, they wish they hadn't done it, and so this is now your wake-up call. And so if you're watching this video and you're on steroids, you're contemplating taking them, well, think again. Please reconsider.
So I think it's really important for people to realize how much goes into this. And the fact that if a man does it, we idolize them. And if a woman does it, we seem to rip them down.
I don't think that's true. Have I ever made videos to say that this person's a fake natty, they shouldn't perhaps be doing this? That Alex Eubank, for example, shouldn't have been on HRT? that Sebum should be careful with his health, that Sam Sulek is taking years off of his life, that Larry Wheels tried to stop taking steroids, but that he relapsed. And what about all those guys who have gone far too soon? We all know of someone who's no longer with us because of what they chose to do.
Let everybody do what they want to do in life. Allow you to do whatever you want to do in life. You live once, so don't judge.
I would argue you live once, and so don't it up. You have one life to live, and if you abuse performance-enhancing drugs and take 20 years off your life, you're going to eventually regret it, or perhaps not even live long enough to have those regrets. And so I urge you, don't abuse performance-enhancing drugs. If you're at a natural genetic limit, why not try Turk Builder and GO2 Max? You can get it on my website. It's not banned by WADA. You still retain your natty status, and so why not at least give it a try? Money back guarantee and a $20 gift card. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Please like this video if you liked it. Watch one of those two bloops, and of course, the cookbooks, the training books, the coaching plans by me and my team. If you don't have any money, that's fine. Get to the website, get the free diet and training program. It's close to 50 pages. Become one of the 400,000 plus newsletter subscribers. And until next time, I am out.